Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I just would like to know you. That I am originally Colombian and living in Spain. And my language is Spanish. So I cannot speak properly in English as much I would like to. So I have a paper to have saying fluently and saying in reading this. So let me start to reading this because it's I am talking about from energetic point about insomnia, and I think this is very good you listen to that because we always have those another point of view, like allopathic point of view, even. But this energetic is really interesting to know. So when we wake up in the morning and stand up right, we begin a metabolic transformation thanks to the action of the sun. You know, suns and planets they affect our life in a very huge way. So transforming what we are eating into energy. I mean, I always used to say that we do photosynthesis in a way like a plant. So when we stand up and we put vertical, we have the energy of the sun, and according to what we eat, we became doing some transformation. And I am talking now in this speech about two forces in the universe. One force, the Orientals call Yang, that is contraction, and the other force is Yin, Orientals call Yin, that is expansion. So those two forces, those two movements are the responsible for every phenomenon happen in the air. So when we woke up, we are in hands of the Yang contractive forces that make us movement, action, and everything happens here because that. When we go to bed, it's different, the situation, because we get in an horizontal way, and it's time to charge ourselves with the energy that coming from the sky, from the planets, from the moon. The cells, our cells, when we go lie down and we go to bed, is charging with the energy of the sky, of the planets. The cells go into the processes of their regeneration, or you can say resetting, or our cells be more oxygenated. So this is two movements, be vertical and be horizontal. It's really, really important to have balance between those two movements to be healthy in life. So when we rest at night, it's the time to reset or to restoration of the cardiovascular system, strengthen our immune system. This is why it's very important to sleep. Sorry, where different hormones are also released at night, such the hormone. This is very important one. The ones who control the appetite, our appetite for food. Then we can have the regular or the normal or the balanced weight. And another hormones are released when we sleep, the ones who maintains our muscle tone, the hormones of fertility, the hormones of growth, and the ones who make us relax and avoid fatigue. So this is one of the reasons it's really important to sleep properly. Okay, so what happened then? A good nutrition is really important for the good rest. I mean, you can think, what is the connection, food and sleep? But there is a lot of connection, and I will show you why. We pass already more than 25 years in bed. Can you manage? 25 years, a regular person passes 25 years in horizontal posture in bed, yeah? So this is calculated for an average life, more or less. So if we don't rest properly, if we don't sleep properly, we can go through these experiences like headache, dolor de cabeza, palpitations, persistent cold. This is one of the symptoms when we don't rest properly. Less memory, instability, emotional instability, sadness, fatigue, disorders, hormonal disorders, lack of appetite, or lost the control of the appetite, because remember, one of the hormones we release when we are sleeping is the one who controls our appetites. Premature aging of the skin, irritability, and many, many other aspects. When we have problems at night, night sleep disturbance or lack of rest properly, we call it insomnia. From a macrobiotic point of view, this is from where I am talking now, we can classify this insomnia in yin or yang. And this is the key. I give it to you today. It's another point of view. So, unfortunately, the conventional medicine considered the cause of insomnia to be idiopathic, means the only solution is pills for sleep. And I given to you tonight another solutions. It's not just pills for sleep. The cause of insomnia or poor rest could be yin or could be yang. So what that means? It means that what means yang? So yang is considered contraction. So could be just you have, and in order to eat food that make you tired, food that make you stressed, and yang could be just dryness in the skin, dryness in everything, and being in tension, be rigid, no flexibility in the joints. This is yang. And yin is the opposite. Yin is too open, too relaxed, even cold feet and cold hands, even is loss of the direction, loss of the attention, loss of memory. And those two has nourish for the different food. Junk food could be meat, eggs, baked food, salty foods, add salt, and yin could be just tropical fruit, ice cream, sugar, and all kind of foods that make you so yin. So even it's maybe now you don't. I will explain you how we can solve this. Of course, there are a group of people that are at high risk of suffering insomnia. It's not just because yin and yang, but for example, people who temporarily go through adverse situations could have insomnia. Grief, work or partner failures, emotional weakness, anxiety process, depression, hormonal imbalance, the last day of pregnancy, and habits that perpetuate insomnia, such as abuse of stimulants, coffee, alcohol, tobacco, addictive drugs. All those make us in a risk of the insomnia. So another increasing frequent reason is the difficulty or delay in the production of melatonin. So we have one key here. This is what connection of food and insomnia could be. So melatonin by our brain. Melatonin is a power antioxidant that helps our nervous system work better and induce to sleep. It's possible that the lack of melatonin, because it happens more in cities than in villages, is the reason is the lights of the city, or we don't sleep in improper dark places. We really need to produce melatonin, to have oxytocin, even to have a great sex. We need darkness because those lights interfere in that process. And another reason, another cause now, and this is very recently, I mean, 20 years ago, we are not talking about this, but now other reasons that we can suffer by insomnia, you know what it is? The screens, the mobile phone, the social media, having them before go to bed or even in bed is equality to take 3 or 4 strong coffees. Because it excited our suprarenals, it excited our hormones, and it's really difficult after that go deep sleep. So this is for you to consider. It's another reason, because maybe you are listening to me and say, I'm having insomnia, and why, if I don't have any, if I not go through those temporary traumas, like, what I mentioned before, but you have the phone always with you, and not just before sleep. Some people just go with phones to the bed and check the social media in bed, and then it's very difficult to fall asleep. So as I said, for the point of view of macrobiotics, insomnia could be yang or could be yin. So let me check here. I am talking about, before yin and yang, or connected with yin and yang, another important aspect to could make you insomnia, and is the time you dinner. I mean, we say in Spanish, the grandes cenas, las tumbas llenas. In English, could be said, I don't know, from great dinners to full grapes. Because when we go to sleep, who go to sleep? We think it's the mind who go to sleep, but when we go to sleep, it's all the body, all the mind that is in our body. So if our organs don't rest properly, because they need to start the digestion and work a lot, so we cannot rest properly. So this is another important reason you take in account. I mean, I don't know where you live it, but here in Spain, for instance, people dinner 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, and then go to sleep. Who is sleeping? Supposed to sleep all the organs, not just mind. So this is another important reason. If you have troubles to follow sleep properly or soon, take look at what time you dinner and what kind of dinner you have. If we have this kind of dinner, very heavy, concentrate protein, very, how you say concentration protein, high protein. Thank you. Concentrated protein, high grease meal, salty meal. So of course, those foods don't allow you to rest and to relax properly. Because if you go to bed without having digestion before, the organism does not rest. And although it seems to us that we are asleep, the body that should be resting works. So it's not possible. Because at that moment, the food is fermented in the intestines, at best case. But when it is of animal origin and does not have fiber in the food, it is still in your intestines. So who can sleep like that? You have this heavy digestion, you have this heavy wake up in the morning, with very bad mood. You cannot, you don't like breakfast, you don't want to eat nothing. You are the one who said, no, I cannot eat anything in the morning. I just need a coffee. Of course, your body is still in the process of digestion. We have inside of the body the organic time or circadian clock cycle. It's a key compass to understand insomnia and which are the organs and food involved in it. So in this clock, organic clock, we have inside of the body, there is time for different organs, and depends of the organs and depends of the food. You have, depend of that, you have some hours that we sleep well and not. The circadian clock is located in the diencephalon, I don't know how to say it in English, in the suprachiasmatic nucleus, a group of neurons in the hypothalamus. That this clock there in the hypothalamus set the ring of the other biological clocks. For example, when we woke up around 11 until 11 at night until 1 in the morning, the organ that is very active is the gallbladder, and it is opposite organ is hair. So what means if we have insomnia at that time because we are eating a lot of greasy food, it is because the gallbladder is not working properly. So we should avoid those greasy foods. But from 1 to 3 o'clock in the morning, the active organ is liver. So if we are having heavy protein there or animal food before for dinner, it's very, very probable that you woke up at this time. So it is more difficult to fall asleep than later. The time of insomnia we have reflect us in that we have exceded in food of lifestyle. So one of the first keys to go through good rest is take attention of the food. This is very important. Of course, we are talking that it is many traumas. We can make that in that position, but we have to take care what food we are eating. So let me go into more details now. So we should improve the level of melatonin, avoiding for improve the melatonin in the body. We should avoid not just that food that I mentioned before, very concentrated or very expansive. I repeat that if it's very concentrated, like animal products, protein, salty, or if it's very sugary and ice and those very expansive. But as well, we should avoid electronical things to interfere in our electromagnetic energy. For instance, electronic device 1 hour before bedtime is important, including TV. It is really important to know that our electromagnetic field is interfered by those devices, the yang energy and the yin energy. Light of the screens, computer or TV, dots inhibit as well the production of melatonin and tryptophan. Tryptophan is a precursor of melatonin and we should consume a lot of products that is rich in tryptophan. Because tryptophan is an essential amino acid that is precursor of serotonin and is known as the hormone of happiness. Yeah. At night and in the dark, serotonin is transformed in melatonin, and melatonin is in our pineal gland, and it is why we have tryptophan is very important in our food. A diet rich in tryptophan can improve a lot our melatonin levels. Which ones are those foods? Chickpeas. Chickpeas, that simple chickpeas, including hummus, is known as the language of happiness food as well, because drive in serotonin late. Soybean products as well are good in tryptophan. And vitamin C, that plus tryptophan make us sleep better. And vitamin C, that is an essential for the absorption of vitamin B6, and is present in many foods like broccoli, cabbage, sprouts, parsley, green leaves, cauliflower, strawberries, lemon, and fermentation foods. And even it's good to have supplement of vitamin C because at the moment it's really necessary for improve our immune system. Other interesting sources of serotonin are brown rice, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, almonds, walnuts, and high intake of greens. I could say that greens, that looks like very humble food and not very recognized food, is very good for sleep well. When I mean greens is like cabbage, kale, all what is green that has a full magnesium in it, because magnesium is the other element we are looking now that is really important to rest well. So all what is magnesium is really important. The macrobiotic diet recommended the consumption of whole grains every day plus greens. That is really important. When you avoid those extreme protein and you take it beans, grains, and leafy greens, the combination of those three is incredible for have healthiness, for be healthy, but as well for have proper rest. So falling asleep, but waking up after sleep can be caused by lack of calcium. So calcium combined with magnesium helps you to sleep better. I hope you are taking notes. I know my English is not very fluently. I will love to say that in Spanish because then it's like but okay, I do my best. So you have,
and
I
we
give
are
you
very
some.
grateful, Patricia, that you're doing this, because the only thing that's important is that the knowledge reaches as much people as possible. So we're very happy that you're doing it.
Thank you very much. So I given you some keys, and this is a very good one. When you follow sleep and you woke up and you cannot go sleep later, could be lack of calcium. And if you take it calcium plus magnesium, you have ways to sleep properly. It is it's correct as well to produce more tryptophan and to produce serotonin, contributing to relaxation and to production of melatonin. How we can get bioavailable calcium? Because I don't talking now about having calcium from pills or artificial or chemical calcium. There is many ways to get natural calcium, like seaweeds. For instance, seaweeds are the best supplements, mineral supplements you can take it, because it's not just calcium, has iron, magnesium, and many other minerals that contribute to you, not just to sleep well, but just to be healthy. So you have calcium in seaweeds, especially in wakame, and hisiki, and seeds like sesame seeds, especially in black seeds, in black sesame seed, we have a lot of calcium, and we just need to roast it a bit. And the seaweeds, you can put it in miso soup, or you can put it in salad, so you can boil it, your grains with seaweeds. In cereals like quinoa, it's a good source. Quinoa is like a miracle. It's a good source of protein, of carbohydrates. It's a good source of minerals as well. And amaranto as well. I don't know if amaranth is the knowing of the food of the, how you say astronautas?
The astronauts.
Astronauts. It's known by the food of astronauts, because it's a little small seed, really small seed, with full of minerals and carbohydrates and proteins and everything. So, and as well in nuts like almonds, you can find calcium as well, and good balance with protein and fats, and good fat. And green leaves are the richest source of calcium. You know, when people say, I drink milk because milk is full of calcium, I always say, did you see ever a cow drinking milk for having calcium? No way. What is cows eat? Greens, leafy greens. And they eat leafy greens raw? No, they chew, and they go and chew. And this is a good thing to follow, to imitate. So a lot of leafy leaves are very good source of calcium as well. Not just really boil it, not raw, but like steam or al dente. How you say it in Italian? Al dente? Yeah, al dente. Al dente. So this is a good source of calcium. Like broccoli as well, cabbage, the leaf of the roots. Sometimes we buy carrots and we just throw out the leaves, the green leaves. They are full of minerals. They are great source of calcium as well. You steam, you put in soups, you put in salads. So for say it again, if you follow a sleep and you woke up, could be lack of calcium. Now let me know what is the key for know if it's lack of magnesium. So when you follow a sleep and you have, I don't know how you say calambres in English.
If you have cramps, like leg
exactly.
cramps.
Yeah, if you have cramps and these cramps woke up you, that means that lack of magnesium. And this means that the muscles age and you have some contractures. This mineral also helps to regulate glucose levels and maintain stable blood pressure. So when there are deficiencies, you can experience insomnia, tremors, nervousness, headaches, itching, palpitations, hot flashes. And it's good to know that those hot flashes, just not for insomnia, for many women in the age of the wiseness, sabiduría. The wisdom, thank you. The women that we are in the wisdom age after 50 or 60, is really good to know that those leafy greens are not just good for insomnia, but it's very good for not hot flashes. Yeah. So magnesium is present in many foods such as sunflower seeds, especially again green leafy. I hope I can convince you to eat more leafy leaves because they are incredible. Yeah, so this is a very good source of magnesium. See? So I would like to just to make some conclusion, because I don't know how was this. The conclusion is there are reasons for we don't follow sleep properly. One of the reasons could be just natural traumas, like somebody dead at home, we divorce, we have problems at work, we have a lot of stress. So even that, the way to recuperate is going into natural way to eat and natural way to live. So when it's because we eat it late at night, all the body is going to the process of digestion, and it's very difficult to follow sleep, because when you sleep, supposed to sleep, your stomach, your pancreas, your spleen, your liver, your gallbladder. So if those organs, digestion organs, are involved in the heavy process, who can sleep? You are then as well. The other reason could be just those screens before go to bed. The other reason is lights. If we need really darkness for sleep, for deep sleep. And stress, of course. What means stress? Stress is when we have more activity mentality, we have more projects in mind than the ones we really could done in time. So when it's more here than the activity, it's very difficult. We get nervous. And when we are in a way to follow sleep properly, we should eat food that has a lot of tryptophan, that, as I mentioned it before, like chickpeas, whole grains, and soya products, soya beans products. And as well, we should have more magnesium in our diet, and we should have more calcium in our diet. So means that those three minerals are the best one to rest, to make us rest. Just two advices. If you don't follow sleep properly, you can soak your feet in warm or hot water. So all the energy go to the feet, both feet. And this is good thing to follow sleep properly. Yes.
Marcela, thank you so much. This is a topic that is so important, because I understand that it affects so many people at least once in their lives. I would say that, at least one point in our lives, we face a challenge with our sleeping cycles. We have a couple questions here that we would like to make, and the first one came through our YouTube chat, and Alice is making that question. She's in Mexico, and she's asking what mechanisms are activated with the electrolytes that you mentioned in order to activate the sleep.
Yeah, like our suprarenals is activate. I mean, when we take coffee, the mechanism is that we have, how you say, mortgage? Hipoteca is mortgage? You make mortgage to your suprarenals, means you use the energy for tomorrow. It's not natural that when we take coffee, we excited our suprarenals, and they make the cortisol, and we make these hormones, giving us energy that we don't have. So the right thing to do is tonify our kidneys, not excited. So screens and computers and TVs do the same mechanism. They activate our suprarenals. So we get nervous. We cannot rest properly.
Thank you, Marcela. Can plants help us if we put plants in our bedroom, for example? Is that a way to clean the electromagnetic field in order to get a better sleep?
Yeah, good helps. But the real thing to help in that case is I put, I don't know how to say it in English, friega corporal, rub, scrub. Yeah, so it is the best way to clean our body from the interfere of electromagnetic devices. So you just soak it in hot water, a small cotton towel, you squeeze it well, that is not dropping water, and you start to rub.
Yeah, to scrub. A towel and water, nothing else?
No, just for that reason. And could be, your body could be dry. It's not wet body. And it's just humid, not dropping water. And you clean all the meridians of the body is discharged of this electromagnetic. But of course, plants could help as well.
Wow, it's fascinating what you're saying. Because in my case, one of the things I struggled with was having my daughter to fall asleep. Even when she was a baby, a newborn baby, she would have such a hard time sleeping. And the only thing that that would help me is if I would turn all the TVs in the house off, all the noise, everything completely dark. And now I am wondering if maybe it could have something to do with electromagnetic fields, because scrubbing her before putting her to sleep would definitely help for her sleeping cycle to be activated.
So this is a miracle. Yeah, it's like that. I mean, we have, as I explained before, forces from the sky and forces of the air, and we have this very harmonious way. So when those devices and those electronic devices at home is interfered, so we became one pole or another. So yeah, you're right. This scrubbing helps your baby to sleep well.
Are there side effects with the melatonin pills? Is there a way that our organism can stop naturally producing the substance or the secretion that is normally produced by melatonin if we take too much melatonin? Is that something that we should do on a daily basis or only when strictly needed?
I mean, in my point of view is that if you go to the harmonious and balanced diet and balanced lifestyle, for example, walking when we get nervous, diet your body. Sometimes people don't sleep. I don't mention it before because we have that sedentary life. So if you active your body, if you eat a properly diet, if you take the regular and the good amount of tryptophan in those foods I mentioned before, the most security is you're going to have melatonin. But if you need it sometimes, do it. For example, when we do long trips or sometimes, I don't consider, and this is not the truth, but as you ask me, I give my answer. I don't consider that those chemicals are the key for solve things in life, because as I always think, if the pills are the ones who give us the healthiness, so the trees, we go to the garden and the trees give pills. It's something in the middle. If you need it, and because people when don't sleep properly, they get real psychological problems. So just go in the middle. Try to solve with the natural source, and if you need it, sometimes you need it. You do it.
It's very interesting. How about, because something that I have also heard, I think everybody have heard this, it's the salt lamps. Those lamps that are made with blocks of salt. It is said that cleans the electromagnetic fields. Is that true according to your experience?
I'm so sorry, sweetie. What is it? Can you say to me the question in Spanish if you don't mind, please?
Claro, con mucho gusto. Las lámparas de sal.
Sí.
Yes. Ayudan a limpiar el campo electromagnético.
Yeah, but yeah, that's true, that helps. But I mean, I have another opinion is you are clean, not because you use it more supposed to clean, but yes, because you dirty less. I don't know if what I said have some sense or not. What I mean is we don't need a lot of things to clean. What we need is not too dirty. You understand what I mean? So,
exactly.
But it's true.
So it's a matter of being clean from the inside out, right?
Yeah.
To start from our organism with a healthy diet, with a healthy lifestyle.
But that lamps helps. Yes, that's true. Helps. Yeah.
And the typical grandmother's recipes when we're growing up, at least in Latin America, we hear so often like chamomile, hibiscus, linden, which is la tila. What do you think about those plants? Is that a remedy or something that can help in a specific event in life?
Yeah, help a lot. But I have another opinion is the thing is not pecar y rezar, not sins and pray to make equality. So of course, sometimes we take those chamomilla, we take tostila because we are a very complex beings. Sometimes we get nervous and we take those chamomilla. But what we're not considering properly is eat all kind of rubbish, go to bed with the iPhone, and have a lot switch off on all the time the Wi-Fi, and eat late and big amount of meat, and then take chamomilla. It's not. It's not. But of course,
I'm going to say that there's going to be a lot of people guilty of that, and I may include myself.
No. I just want to give a key. I just want to give a key.
And you're doing it very, very, very well. We want to thank you. It's been a very nutritious content, the one you gave us today. And what would you like to leave us with? What are your closing thoughts, Patricia?
Sorry?
What are your closing thoughts? What do you want to leave us with? How do you want to say goodbye for now?
I want to say to you that is as important is nourish well, rest well, and joy. So joy is another very important key to live, and we forget this many times. And just I wish you a joy, and joy peaceful is inside you. It's not buying things to give you joy. It's just to be inside. So meditation is another key to be in joy, and to be rest, and to be happy, and to be awareness, and to be in peace. And the moment we are living in a world, very, very, things that happen in many countries now, for instance, in Colombia, in Israel, in Palestine, in Syria, we have this. So we can help those countries by helping us through our meditation and sending love. And I'm sure if you do 5 or 10 minutes before fall asleep, 10 minutes meditation, you sleep better, and you feel better, and you send these vibrations to the rest of the planet.
Thank you again. It's been a great pleasure. Goodbye, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you very much to you, your patience, and I send love to everybody. Bye-bye.